Hey you guys, it's Lula. Welcome to a very intimate, very different pickapile reading. I did another video earlier. I did a real talk and a reading for the tribe about the epic orchestra, epic life. And this reading that I'm doing now, this pickapile, kind of started, I think it was yesterday or the day before. It started kind of building itself together. And I knew it was going to be messages from our spirit guides, like what we need to know right now. Like I knew that right away. I felt that. But it wasn't until I started prepping for this that this song came on, and I'm like, oh my goddess. So the theme for our reading is Dark Night of the Soul. Literally. The Dark Night of the Soul. I heard, look at the numbers. 1459. Ooh, 1459 and 49. Isn't that interesting? So look up any of that comes to you, or maybe it'll come up later. But anyway, so then they told me that we were going to have 4 piles. The first pile, number 1, is the soul's lament. The second pile, pile number 2, is Chez, Toots, which I believe means cheers. It's in French. And then number 3 is Welcome to the Jungle. And number 4 is Appetite for Destruction. Oops, sorry, the music played. They're like, should we try and reconnect? I'm like, no. But Appetite for Destruction. It doesn't want to do it. Isn't that crazy? Now, I'm very curious because yesterday, cards from my beautiful sacred soul sister, my shaman, one of my dear shamans, Layla Lee, Dancing Spider Woman. This is her deck, Wisdom of the Tall Ones. If you're interested in this deck, please leave a comment below and I can give you her information. It's an amazing deck. It has so much wisdom in it. But anyway, so I was told that each one is also going to get a tree theme. Ooh, look at this one's upside down. I wonder what that means. So I don't know what they're going to be. Like, I can see them here, but I don't know who's going to be what. We'll shuffle as we go. So anyway, without further ado, if you have hung on this long, thank you so much for being here. And go down to your, if you're for pile number 1, we're going to jump right in. If you are drawn to another pile, the timestamps are below. Like I said, this is kind of off the cuff. I'm like, normally I do a whole big setup and whatever, but this is more of like a, you know, this is the medicine that we all need to hear right now to help us through our dark night of the soul, because it's different for each of us, right? So whichever theme you were drawn to, and I don't know which tree you have now, but it'll say it below, because I'm going to put the timestamps like pile 1, the tree, and then the message, right? So pile number 2, the tree, the message. So yeah, so here we go. I'll see you at your next pile 2, 3, and 4. Pile number 1. What is your tree? What is your tree? Pile number 1. The soul's lament. Oh, the soul's lament. It's just like hearing that, like my heart like breaks, right? Oh, the spindle. I pulled this one. Actually, a bunch of cards came to me yesterday, but I believe this was the first one. I know the lighting's not super great in here, but also this card's a little bit dark too. So the spindle. And this is like the theme, like this is kind of like what you need to work on kind of thing. This is the theme of your dark night of the soul, is the spindle tree. The message is weave your own web of creation. The symbol is webs. So maybe you've been seeing a lot of spiders lately, or a lot of webs around. If you are out of balance, it means you're lacking accountability for your actions. You're holding others responsible for your current state. If you're in balance, that means you're walking tall. You're being responsible for your thoughts, your words, and your actions. The meditation is, oh, sorry, they told me to look up. So 438. Also look up, write this down right now. Pause it, go get pen and paper. 438, angel number 438. That's your homework to go look that up. The meditation is create, create, create. Weave poetry, music, dance, art, cooking into your daily life to help you stay on the path of accountability. Da, 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 da. So the soul's lament, it's like, yeah, so what I'm getting from that is like you guys have that, I feel it too as an artist, right? Like if we don't create and art is in all forms, right? Like they said, it's like it could be cooking, it could be dancing, it could be in speech, it could be writing, whatever. But if we're not doing our souls, like, or if we're not doing like our life purpose, right now I feel like so many light workers are like, because I've been putting out into the world like Dr. Wayne Dyer's How May I Serve? Whenever you're in doubt of what to do, ask yourself or ask Spirit, how may I serve? When we are in service to others is when we find what we need for ourselves. Whether it's through a connection with somebody and so this happens, that happens, or it could just be, you need something, and it like shows up when you need it. But I'm hearing speaking your truth too. Like here, where it says out of balance, lacking accountability. I'm also hearing for some of you guys, and this isn't to be like, just because we are talking about the dark night of the soul, like I want to get real with you guys about it. But at the same time, I'm not going to like verbally spank you because there's a lot going on up here. I always kind of was told that if it's dark or if you're hearing a voice that's like talking smack, whatever, that's not for you. And I was like, yeah, no, I've learned that that's actually not 100% true. It's kind of like this, right? It's like if you're getting ready and you're looking in the mirror and you're somebody who struggles with your self-confidence or your self-worth, right? Or the way you look, so you're looking in the mirror and you start to feel pretty, but then that little, the devil, on your shoulder comes over and is like, you look gross. That color looks stupid on you. Well, no one like no spirit would talk to you like that, right? Like they don't want to talk to you like that. They love you. They want to support you. They want to be there for you. So on the other side, let's just say the angel, right? And it doesn't have to be. One could be dressed as the devil and be the nice one. That's the other thing too, right? Just because an angel comes and is like, blah, blah, blah. Be mindful. Right now it's like there's wolves in sheep's clothing everywhere. I know that feels a little freaky, right? But they're saying like you get grounded, you get centered when you're doing your art. Like I see some of you like drawing, painting, something like staying focused on coloring. But sometimes, we'll hear, what, how about that red shirt instead? You know what I mean? Like it's the difference of somebody who's being mean to you and somebody who's like helping suggest like, yeah, maybe that's not the best thing for you even though you want it, but they'll kind of turn it around to positive. Do you hear what I'm saying? And I'm hearing like this is what you need to do to master your next like steps, and how you find that center, how you find those answers is through your art. Okay, so take the wisdom from the tall ones, listen to the spindle tree, and do some more research on the spindle. That's just Layla's little granny spider. That's just her. Obviously she could, if she was here, she'd probably read even deeper into it for you, but I feel like go into it further for yourself. The Witch's Wisdom wants me to pull some cards for you guys. Okay. So pile number 1, the Soul's Lament. The Soul's Lament. Anything from the Witch's Wisdom for the Soul's Lament. Pile number 1, the Spindle Tree. Spindle, spindle, spindle tree. Spindle, spindle, spindle tree. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. 1. Oh, you must have been there for the other reading. The last reading, this is one of the cards we pulled for the tribe. Hearth and Homecoming. So, every time I see this, I can't help but want to say, home is where the heart is. And we talked about this in the tribe reading. But this is even deeper for some of you guys. Sometimes you can't go home again. For some of you, like when you see this, like maybe part of your soul's lament, why you're so heartbroken, is that you can't go home. You can, but that that's not a peaceful place for you. That's not a place of comfort. It's not a place of joy. Like, did you see how like when it was like down here, it's like a little in darkness, but then when I turned it to the light, you can see how the orange started to get brighter and how the sparkle started to like get brighter and rise into the sky, right? Like, look at that. this is where you are. You're like this great white light being, and then like you get around your family and you want to go there, like it's like you want it to be the way it used to be. You see it, you're like, oh gosh, I want to go sit around the fire and you know, cuddle up with my mom in a blanket and read a book and, you know, blah blah, blah, like you used to or whatever. But like maybe, you know, mom's like a Mormon and you are gay and you know what I mean? Like we can go on and on and on. It's like, but they don't accept you and you're breaking some code or whatever. I should probably just stick with the religions I know because I don't know that much about Mormon, but you hear what I'm saying, right? We can't always go home. So you are your home. And Spirit wants you to start making your home life good. Maybe you're somebody who's a couch surfer, or you can't seem to stay in one place very long, or you keep moving around. You know, my sister used to always say, you can't run away from yourself. You can't run away from this awakening. Nobody can run away from this. Nobody's getting out of here alive, right? I was watching this great pickapile reading recently, and the person and I, we were talking about how, you know, the way people respond to things and just the energy on the planet right now, and this like, I'm better than you, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, it's so crazy. Like we all bleed red, right? And then like none of us are getting out of here alive, no matter how much money you have. You cannot live forever on this planet. Like you will die. Now, I don't know, because lately I've been having this thing with dimensions, and I do think that we probably could actually. I've met a few ancients, and I've met a few people that I'm like, I think you're a vampire for real. Like I feel like they've been alive for like 400 or 500 years. Just the energy of them feels really old, and it's not just like, you know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Like, so I've seen some shit, I've felt some shit, but I feel like, you know, it's like, this is what it is. It's like, it's the dark night of the soul. It's not supposed to be fucking bunnies and rainbows. It's not going to be. It's the dark night of the soul, is because, and the other thing Spirit's saying is, it doesn't have to be that dark. It doesn't have to be. Like, you're choosing that. Like, if you're choosing to go home, like, if you're choosing that, like, then you're like, it's like somebody who keeps, like, you're an emotional cutter, right? Like, Carrie Bradshaw used his age. She's like, I'm an emotional cutter, right? And I had a friend that I used to work with, and I've never, like, I knew people who cut. I cut myself when I was younger, but I'd never seen anything like this in my life. I'd never seen anything like this in my life, and my heart just like sank, and I just thought, when do you even have time for any of it to heal? There's so many. And I'm like, how does nobody fucking know this? Like, how has nobody like helped her or done something, or, you know, listened to her or whatever? And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm like, you're a fucking warrior that you're still alive, you know? So, you know, you don't have to be somebody's piss pot. And I don't mean to be so graphic, but they're like saying that, like, you don't need to allow people to defecate on you and, like, you know, do horrible things to you. And whether it's really happening, or if it's something that is like emotionally happening, or physically, whatever it is, it's like, you know, for some of you, it's like, they're like, it's not the homecoming that you want it to be. And you want to bring these people with you, but that's the soul's lament. Like, you know, you can't bring them with you. You cannot bring these people with you. You can't bring them with you. You can't bring them with you. And I'm not saying this like, oh, like it's so easy. It's not. I'm saying I understand, because I did a meditation this morning, and I was bawling my eyes out, you know, thinking about how much I miss my mom and my family. But it's like, I will never, not never, but I just know for myself, like, I'm not going to find the comfort there that I used to find, because it's not just me being a rebel fighting for rights or whatever. It's like, now it's like, I have very, very firm beliefs that like counter my family's beliefs, but I can't allow them to tell me who to be or what to do, or to make fun of me, or, you know, I talked about it in my real talk, the real talk in a reading. It's the same thing. It's like, we can't allow them, our families, our friends, our coworkers, we can't allow them to douse our flame or tell us how we should live. So I think that's it for now. Let me just see. For this deck, anyway. Let me see. Oh, broomstick clearance. Broomstick clearance. But interesting, it was upside down. So I'm going to read this. Also, They want me to read the home and hearth, the cute little magic spell at the beginning before we move on to the broomstick. The hearth homecoming. It's time to do something for you. Stop racing around. Don't do the do. Return to that which you know best. Enjoy some warmth and well-earned rest. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be. There it is done, right? So now the next one that's coming in is the broomstick. And it's telling you to clear away that clutter. The soul's lament. It's time to clear away the clutter. Because, you know, the sucky thing is, there's nothing worse than realizing, like, that we are really doing it to ourselves. Like the spindle tree said, it's like, we're doing it to ourselves. We're the ones that are, ooh, I just got the chills. Did you guys get the chills? We're the ones that, you know, we're the emotional cutters. We know that we need to go. We understand. We know that we're the starseeds. But the thing that's hard is, like, once you wake up and you realize, like, okay, I've got some shit to do here, and you realize, like, I really can't talk to those people anymore. I can't, you know, there's something that, it's like, for some of us, we can get through it quickly, and for some of us, we have to, like, relive it and relive it and relive it, and they don't want you to do that. They said you've relived it long enough, and you've been like this, and see when it's up, they're sweeping away, like, whatever, but, like, for you guys, it's like this. It's like they're here, and your magic is here, and they're just, like, you know, pushing it down, like it can't even go back up. It's trying to go in a flow. You're trying to, like, push out, and they're like, no. And so they're like, yeah, you kind of need to, you know, broom it away. Give a tickle and flick with a helpful broom. Let's clear some space and make some room. Open windows, let air in. Clear the way around within. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be. There it is done. The witch's wisdom. You are in urgent need to create space for the energies you are calling upon in order for them to take their rightful place. Your wonder... Oof, man, this is like... Let me tell you something. Your energy, you need to let it in. You need to clear this away and let your light in. I'm going to put some meditations below from some Steve Noble meditations. You may want to do them right in a row. The first one is a beginner's meditation, and I'll tell you, I'm not a beginner, but I love that meditation because it just helps us to kind of, like, refocus and recalibrate. And I did the beginner's meditation, and then the second and the third one. I did 3 right in a row, and the next one was grief, and I, like, purged all this stuff about my family. And then, like, the third one, I forget what it was now, but it was really great. And so do whatever feels right to you if you have the time to do it. I think it took a little over an hour to do all 3. But I just, like, so much clarity, like, came to me after that happened. So anyway, so get those walls down. In order to do that, you need to release that misery. That's what they're saying. You need to release that misery. Isn't that interesting? Release that they're saying, yeah, let go. You just need to let go and let the walls come down so that you can heal this. Because it's like you've got one foot in one world and one foot in another world, and you've been, like, straddling for so long, and, like, your inner thighs are like, I can't do the workout anymore. Like, you're like, I can't hold, Captain. You know, like, your body's just like, I can't take it anymore. It's like one or the other. It doesn't mean you can't talk to them ever again. It just means you live way more in your world, and you only go there, like, very sparingly, or maybe you don't go there at all. So you are in urgent need to create space for the energies you are calling upon in order for them to take their rightful place. You wonder why your spell work has dimmed, why all you have asked for has not yet been made manifest. The answer is that the stench of clutter surrounds you. It's time for a clearing, for magic needs space in order to be birthed. So get rid of all that you no longer need and is not aligned with who you are today. Clean up, sort out the trash, donate to charity, rearrange furniture, and create some sacred space so you can work. Feel at peace and feel connected. Call upon your trusted friend Broomstick to move Widdershins as it sweeps away the unnecessary contents of your mind, removing the constant internal chatter that has prevented you from hearing the voice of spirit clearly. Out with the old and in with the new. That's the way the witches do. Yes. Stale energies are preventing you from receiving and moving forward. Time for a spring cleaning, but it's like a fall cleaning, right? Only keep around Only keep around you that which makes you feel positive. Meditate and pray to clear your mind, clean up your act, purify your thoughts and actions. What did I just say? The meditation. Yeah, you gotta use that. So they're good for that. They're good for that. We're gonna do. Oh gosh, I was hoping we were gonna do small little readings, but I guess we're not, because these two just came. Look at that. We just talked about spell work, right? They're saying, I don't even need to read these. If you chose this pile, you know who you are. You know what you need to work on. These are your messages. I mean, truthfully, everybody who comes to this, if you are drawn to this channel, there's a reason why you're here. You're a really powerful healer. You're a really powerful worker. You don't need me to feed you all the details. You got this. Your soul's lament is that you're dying inside because you're not your inner alchemist, your magic, your magician, your witch, whatever languaging, your healer it just wants to come out so bad. It wants to be worked with honor and pride. To write your own spells. You probably already do. Do you rhyme all the time, or do you accidentally rhyme? I do that all the time. Okay, so that's your messages there, and we're going to give you one culmination card. Because I was like, really? And they're like, yeah, oh, I just got the chills. Yeah, because I kind of got this vibe. It was kind of going to be kind of short and sweet, each file. So, okay, so your last messages are, yeah, you must have watched the other one too. The real talk and the reading with the epic orchestra. Because we pulled these, and I thought at first because they were stuck together, and they said no, because there was a third one and that one wasn't there. So love charm, attract a lover, soulmate, or life partner. So for some of you, until you get rid of, and I don't want to say get rid of because it's a human being, but for some of you it's like an actual person, and you know, like obviously these are for multiple people, so take from it what you need, leave behind what you don't kind of mentality. But for some of you, you know, and you're like, it's like you're trying so hard to recreate this energy with this person that you had, and you're like, oh, they're my person, they're my person, they're my person. Maybe they are, but in order for them to really become your person, they need to go off into their own wilderness, into their own world, so they can figure it out. I know this from firsthand experience. We cannot force anyone to change, ever. We either love them for who they are and we accept it fully, or we say we don't, and then they go and you go part ways, or they finally do the healing that they need to come back into the space. But until then, so make a love charm. We were just talking about the spells and all that. So make a love charm, attract a lover, soulmate, or life partner. And you may want to look into like love charms. You can Google it, you can look on YouTube, but also always work with harm to none, right? Like as above, so below. Like we are all one. We don't want to hurt anybody. We don't do anything. Like I said to somebody recently, they had a situation and I was like, I rarely suggest a binding spell. And I'm like, but that's, we always have to remember whatever we put out into the world comes back to us. And, tenfold, however you put it out there, that's how it's going to come back to you. So, really be mindful, especially now with the veil being so thin. Whenever you watch this, it's timeless, but I'm doing this today on October 25th, 2020, which is also the number, what do I say it was? 5? What did I say? 12, which is also number 3. But anyway, so I'm also getting this really like hardcore pain in my knees. So I'm hearing for some of you like yoga and stretching, just like being like a stretch can really make a huge difference, man. Especially with now with the weather changing over. I know for myself, it's like, I have to stretch and take care of myself. So just take care of yourselves, get around that hearth and home, take care of you. Don't concern yourself with other people. And for some of you, you're concerning yourself about the holidays and the election. Number one, the election hasn't even happened yet, if you've watched it here now, and or if you're watching it in present time before that happens. And same with the holidays. It's kind of like, that's one of your main things, is like you need to stop looking so far into the future, because it's not for you. It's not for you. Like you need to live in the moment, live in the present. Okay, so then the next one is happy love, a joyful, stable partnership, and good friends. And also for some of you, I'm hearing like maybe you have a really big family, or you spend a lot of time with your family, and you don't have that many friends, and they're like, well, friends of the family you make for yourselves, right? Like I had a lot of that growing up, where I struggled with my family stuff, and so I just had a lot of friends that became, my in fact, my one friend, literally that's where I got it from. It was on a magnet that she gave me. It said friends of the family that we make for ourselves. And even then, it's like, you know, sometimes people come back around and sometimes they don't. But we walk together for certain paths, and then like we walk separate ways, and sometimes we come back in alignment and sometimes we don't. I will tell you, to give you hope, that my partner, I didn't think they could change. I didn't think whatever, and we took a big break, and then they had an accident, and I've never seen a human being change that much. And so I hope that gives you hope, knowing that like it can happen, and never give up. But that doesn't mean that you have to stay in that, you know, you can cut that tie and hold it in like a love, you know, maybe it will, maybe we won't, maybe in this life, maybe another, but you don't have to do it with malice, is what I'm saying. Self-confidence, strong self-belief, and a strong sense of worth. Yes. Once you realize that like you don't need anybody like to tell you what you're worth, or that you're beautiful, or that you're awesome, once you really believe that, everything else will fall into place. So that's all I got for you, pile number one. Thank you so much for stopping by. Click like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Also, I have information below if you'd like to book a personal reading. I should probably slow down the energy. Or if you'd like to donate to this channel, the information is below. And my other rates and information on what I do is in the About section. So I'll see you next time. Bye! Okay, group number 2, 2558. Ooh, witchy, 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 woo. Oh, I'm excited for you guys, because you guys are my joyful. You're my cheers pile. Okay, so here we go. I'm going, if you just give me a minute. So, I started getting this weird pain in my knees from, not just from them, that was happening earlier, but it really started to flare up in pile number 1. So I'm just going to change the way I'm sitting, and I'm going to grab some water. Okay, pile number 2, I guess. Well, I'm going to say 2558. Maybe you were meant to just hang out with me for a minute. Hi, guys. How are you? Okay, so pile number 2, you chose Chez, Toots. Chez, Toots, Chez, Toots, Chez, Toots. How cute. I just got this, yeah, like you guys are good. You're feeling good. I'm proud of you guys, because what I got from Spirit, so I guess we're going to see, is that you, for your dark night of the soul, I believe you guys are at the end of it, or you're like, we're going to see. So which tree is your tree message? Oh, the reed. Oh my gosh, I just got so much stuff, you guys. I got Christian stuff. I got, then sings my soul, my Savior Lord, blah, blah. So you know what I mean? Like, oh gosh, sorry, Dad. My dad's like, not blah, blah, blah. How Great Thou Art was my dad's favorite song, his favorite church song. But it was Elvis Presley's version that was my dad's favorite. And not just that it was Elvis, but just that he just loved his version of it. But so that's what I'm getting from you guys, is that, you know, that kind of energy. So let's see what the reed has to say. This is from The Wisdom of the Tall Ones, from Lulakelly, Dancing Spider Woman. So if you're interested in these cards, reach out to me below, and I'll send you her information. Okay, so the reed, but I mean, so many, like, I felt if I had to guess, I felt at least 6 to 7 different like energies that came through. Some were visions, some were words, some were, but the emotion that I got was deep, like Southern roots, like almost like a deep religious. So I feel like for some of you, I'm hearing cheers and congratulations are in order for you guys. Now, mind you, this is for multiple people, so we'll see what comes through. And I always like to kind of see both sides of it, so, you know, take from it what you need, leave behind what you don't. But I did feel this very deep religious, almost kind of like a Southern vibe about it, like a Southern Baptist. And so it says the reed, the message is remain focused. So it sounds like you have cause for celebration, but right away I heard, but don't lose focus. Like now you're in it. Like now you're starting, like for some of you, it's like now you're starting to get it, right? Like you're starting to get like the law of attraction manifesting, like you're starting to understand, like by staying away from certain people or whatever. And good for you. I'm so, you know, it's so fun because I was like, I'm not going to lie. When I saw that it was Dark Night of the Soul, I'm like, man, we're going to go through some deep shit, because I did 3 meditations back to back, which I'm going to list them below, through Steve Noble, that I was just like, I just kept going, and it felt like I just like did a fucking cleansing. I just did the 3 right in a row. from starting at the beginner's meditation, and I realized, I'm like, we all have different levels of where we are. And so they're saying, sometimes we're in the dark night of the soul, we may be at a place where we're like, I feel really good, but they're like, you kind of haven't gone all the way dark yet. And for some of you, you're like, what do you mean? There's something darker than that? And they're like, yeah. But you are learning, you are attaining tools and adjusting the way you react to things. You're not going half-cocked like you used to be. That's why they're having me talk very slowly. I almost seriously am trying to talk faster and they won't let me. You know what I mean? So kudos for you. Kudos for that, because that's really hard to do, right? I heard something recently in one of the meditations about emotions, right? Like not going half-cocked, like not going off of our emotions. So working with that, that's like, you deserve the Chez Toots. You deserve the congratulatory, I have a feeling actually that this group is gonna be in the smaller, group, maybe because of whatever, but people will be more drawn to one or the other. But anyway, so kudos for you. But don't lose focus, right? So the symbol is the reed basket, which is also why I'm thinking like biblical sense. Like that's what I'm saying. Like right when I saw this image, it was like I felt like I went back in Jesus' time. Like I just felt like I was like somewhere else, and it was really amazing. And then I just like heard like a whole like, then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee, how great thou art, how great thou art. And also for some of you, I'm hearing like you really love to sing, and like you love old like church hymns. Oh my gosh, you should follow Leslie Jordan. Oh my gosh, he's so funny. Or they, I don't know what they go by. I think they go by he. But on Instagram, I'm not a huge fan of social media, but if you're gonna follow anybody on Instagram, but he's like that. He's like, he loves, like, he grew up in that Southern, Baptist, and the music and the churches. And if that feels good to you, like maybe you're that person that like needs to bring it forward in your church, or needs to like shift the energy in your church, or shift the energy in your choir, or something like that. This feels like a very specific message for somebody. Because I'm like, it's like all of a sudden I saw it in the background again. Like I just saw like and it was just very, it just felt very old. It just felt like really old energy. And I feel like you guys, I just got the chills, and I feel like you guys, if you pick this pile number 2, the reed, you are, it's interesting because the image of the Chez Toots, which I believe means cheers, like that, like the image of that is like, it wouldn't seem like it would align with this, but it does, right? Like that's where it's like when you bring everything together, because we're multi-layered, we're multifaceted. Wow, that's really powerful. We're going to get to that in a second. Okay, thank you so much, Spirit. So the reed, oh my goodness. We started with the reed, but then we went to something else, but they want to go back to that. Okay, so when we're out of balance, this is the message from the reed. When we're out of balance, we are distracted. We're acting without thinking, right? Exactly, see? But when we're in balance, we're focused on direct and timely action. So that's exactly what they're saying. And that's where they're saying, like keep it up, like keep doing this, because the energy is going to keep going. It's going to be like this for a while. I know these are timeless, but I'm recording this on October 25th, 2020. So if you are watching this, around all this time where it's a little chaotic, it's going to be this way for a little bit longer, but then by Christmas, I almost feel like they're trying to give us this biblical, like Jesus, like the reed basket, although I know that was Moses. Thank you. One of my spirit guides was like, that was Moses, actually. It's like they were like a scholar. I'm like, thank you. But they're right, right? But in my mind, I'm like, you get the gist. So staying very focused, like you're doing good. They're like, yay, 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 yay. However, they want me to read you the vine. And it's interesting because I pulled these cards yesterday, but they, I didn't know how this was going to come out today, but it's been super, super fun. I feel like I can really get down with pickapiles like this more. I love doing like the whole like rigmarole and all that, and I'll do a picture for the front of this, but it's kind of nice just doing this kind of intimately with you guys like this. So the vine, the message is celebrate and be grateful. The symbol is the grapevine. When you're out of balance, you're not allowing time for joy and celebration of life, but when you're in balance, you're rejoicing and sharing gratitude every day. The meditation is throw a party and celebrate life with your tribe. Yes. And we're going to go back to the reed because the reed has one last message for you. Sit or lay in a comfy position with eyes closed. Breathe and begin to focus on what you would like to manifest in your life. And they're saying, if you notice, go ahead and get a screenshot if you can. I love how I couldn't get it to be bright, and look at how bright that is now. So take a screenshot of that if it's possible for you. Maybe watch it on your phone and get this. It's at 3450. So if you pause it, whatever, you can go back to it. Ooh, 3450. They also want you to look that up, that angel number. 3450. So that would be 7. That's the number 12, which is today's a 12 day. Very interesting. Oh, and they want you to, oh, the yew tree. I was wondering who this was going to be for, because this came up in the real talk and the reading. The last one, I'm going to put a link below. I'm going to link them together. But the yew tree, this came up in the real talk reading. And that came up so organically and so naturally. It was in one of the cards that I was like, that's crazy, because I'm like, we picked that yesterday. So yesterday Spirit had me put them in the book. I didn't understand why. But lately it's been so fun. Like you can see, like I'm so much happier when I'm letting them like flow through me and work through me and do my actual work that I like was brought here to do. So let go of what needs to go, says the yew tree. The symbol is the wise ones. What did I say? You guys are old, man. This isn't your first time. And that's why you're celebrating, because you get it. I feel like you, this group number 2, I feel like you guys get the fact that like this is like a game. And this is like, you know, I mean, it's important and everything we're doing, it all means something. But you understand that it's, you know, there's a much bigger, like it's a collective experience, that, you know, that this isn't the end of the world, it's just the end of an era, right? Like we've taken this controlled slave, like whatever, like this paradigm is gone as far as it's going to go. The earth is going to recircle itself and recycle itself back to the beginning so that we can start anew, so we can have new lessons. That's what evolution's all about. Like we've mentally and emotionally evolved past all of that. We've learned from the ancestors, we've learned from the pain, we've learned from the suffering. And if you're here now and you're a part of the panda tribe, then that means you have agreed to take on all that pain and suffering for your ancestors. But now it's time to let it go. So if you do choose to do those 3 meditations in a row, like I'm going to put together, that's awesome. If not, the second meditation on grief might be really helpful for you, because that one really helped me release a lot of the ancestral trauma that I have been going through myself personally. Okay, so wise ones. When we're out of balance, we're resisting change and we're unwilling to question old values and beliefs. See, and we have to question that. Like we have to question what's happening right now. That's how change happens. You know, when I started, when I realized I had to stop looking at social media, is I saw 2 images back to back from 2 different events where the President of the United States was standing on a balcony looking down on people. And the instant thing I got of a Heil Hitler was like, I have never, and you guys know, oh, I just got the chills. And I just was like, I'm out. I'm like, I don't want to know anymore. I don't want to see anymore. I'm going to do my best to just raise the vibration, elevate the vibration of the planet. That is my job. That's what I'm meant to do here. That's why I'm here, right? Like, that's why I'm here. So it's the same thing for you guys. That's why you're here. You're getting that. You're understanding that. So, you know, look away from that. Get away from it. Just don't go near it. If you are, you know, if you voted already, let it go. You know, let it go. The outcome is going to be the outcome, right? Like there's nothing you can do anymore. If you're waiting to vote on that day, don't think about it. Don't put any energy towards it until that day, right? And for me, I feel like instead of like specifically like pushing towards people, it's about peace on the planet, right? It's about going for the energy that the planet needs. It's not just about America, or because there's elections going on all over the world. You know, it's not just America. It's just that America is one of the big pivotal things that makes a difference on the planet right now. So, you know, it's about how we're honing our magic, what we're doing with our magic. Do you understand? Okay, so, and then that says, when we're in balance, we're embracing transformation, willing to make changes in life or our attitude, right? So we can choose to, you know, engage. If someone, friend, family member, or somebody says something to you, we can engage and argue with them, or we can just say, I'm sorry you feel that way. I don't think this is a subject we should discuss, but I love you, and I'm going to go, you know? I've been doing that a lot more lately with people. I had an experience. It was a very, very awesome teaching experience for myself in so many ways. The whole day was a teaching experience, and so I've decided to turn around and look at things as a teaching experience instead. You know, Everything is a teaching experience if we look at it from that angle. Okay, so the meditation is: take a purifying bath, light 3 candles, and use your preference of essential bath oil. Focus on the image of the you. Visualize cleansing any old energy to make room for the new, and watch it all wash down the drain. So another one, you might want to get a screenshot of that. Please do this if you can. And if you don't have a bathtub, do the same thing with a shower. Okay? Just stand under that hot water for a long time. You know, you can put the essential oils in your hands and breathe them in. You know, put them on your scalp. Like, put them, I'm going to do that later. You know, just invigorating your soul. Okay, so let's see. That's all we have from the Wisdom of the Tall Ones. But let's see if we have anything from the Witch's Wisdom deck. Okay, Witch's Wisdom deck. Do we have anything for our Chez Toots pile, our pile number 2? Do we have any messages? Any? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, this one, these. Wow, very important. Prosperity and stability. Look at that. The staff. And I don't pronounce that correctly a lot of times, so I'll just let you see it for what it is. I guess you know what? Let's learn it together. Let's learn it. I just heard why. Because I'm like, I didn't want to turn my phone on. But that's okay, because they're telling me I don't have to concern myself with that. How do I say... L-U-G-H-N... Let's hear it. Okay, hold on.
Instagram and Facebook. For today's video, I wanted to talk about Lammas or Lunasa, which is a Wiccan
Lunasa.
For example, the Irish Lugnasad, Luke's holiday.
Oh my gosh, look, it stopped itself. I didn't do that. Isn't that crazy? I hope that doesn't mean that this isn't gonna load, because it's on YouTube, so we'll see. Okay, let's see.
It's the same as the Saxon Lammas, Lohmas, or Loaf celebration. As both.
I thought today I could take a couple of minutes to show you around my Lumisad altar. I was actually at a festival.
Okay, so whatever. I hope that... Did we get that? Did we even get it? Thanks for being patient.
Instagram and Facebook. For today's video, I wanted to talk about Lammas or Lunasa, which is a
Lunasa, 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 Lunasa. Ooh, that's beautiful. I don't know if that's exactly how... We're going to take that one because that's one that, like, almost played itself, so... Okay, prosperity. Sunny days are here at last. Time to feast, no need to fast. Celebrate, sing, dance, and leap. Harvest in, 'tis yours to reap. I love it. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be. There it is done. The witch's wisdom is that Lugnasta brings great tidings of prosperity. Your planted seeds have grown into an abundant crop, and now the harvest has been reaped. A time of opportunity and good fortune is upon you. Everything is going your way. The venture you put your heart and soul into, in whatever form, is ready to flourish. Your dreams have been answered, and your spells for good fortune are ripe for the picking. Success is yours, and like a true alchemist, everything you touch right now turns to gold. So don't let a single opportunity pass you by, for you are supported as you walk your rightful path. This is what you've been waiting to hear, so enjoy every moment and remember to appreciate and bless everything that comes your way. Your days of famine are no more. That's old past life stuff. Let it go if you haven't already, but I think you have. It's time to reap the rewards and feast upon the good you have created as Lunas... Why? What is my damage, Heather? Shines upon you. Yay! And the witch's foresight says, what you have wished for will flourish into fruition. You are rewarded for your hard work. Don't give up, for success is just around the corner. Your positive attitude and gratitude leads to good fortune. Prosperous circumstances surround you. You reap what you sow. The ancestors implemented this cycle of crops and understood how they reflected the human cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. This harvest marks the gathering in of the grains and celebrates the sun god Lu, who is cut down in his glory only to rise again next year. This is a time of feasting, a time of plenty, and for acknowledging the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. Also for you guys, this is the harvest, and Saturday is, if you're watching this in real time, Saturday is October 31st, and from the 31st to November 1st is Samhain. So that's like reaping of like the harvest. That's like, you know, it's also when the veil is the thinnest. So I would recommend having a gathering. And if you're somebody who's, you know, I personally don't believe that certain people can get sick. I believe if you are a starseed and a light worker, you're not going to get sick. I truly believe that. But also, I believe that if you align yourself with the crystalline grid of the earth, with Gaia, there is, I saw something recently where they talked about how it's almost like, it's like your avatar cannot catch this. It's like it's immune to it. It's absolutely positively immune to it. So I'm hearing it for some of you, because I don't know if somebody's going to say something, you know, it's all whatever, but I feel for some of you, have a party. Have people come over. You don't need masks. You're going to be perfectly fine. So if this was like, should I do this party or not? Yes. You're getting a huge yes. Should I do a gathering? And yes. And am I a leader? Yes. Like, it's time for you to, maybe you have some people and you dabble and you play a little bit, but like you bring them all over, you get all dressed up for, you know, I went to a party once, a Samhain gathering, and it was, you come dressed in whatever you want to be burned or buried in. Okay. So that's that. And then the staff is stability. Stability. Look at that. Look at that path that you've created for yourself. For some of you, I'm going to read some of it, but I'm also hearing this is like time for, the path is going into solitude. Like winter couldn't come at a better time for some of you guys. Like maybe this is when like your friends, family, everybody's like kind of slowing down. Some of you love that we're like not seeing each other or being around each other, because it's helped you to like kind of like make this gap between you and them, right? So like it's like you put the staff there, you're in the middle, like the Fool card, right? Like you can float between all different worlds. And they're saying like, you know, you decide, you're stable now. You're deciding like what you're going to do and who you are. This is your staff. This is your rod. I feel like I don't even need to read this one. Oh, they say just for the fun, they love the cute little spells on the bottom. It's from Spirit and from these beautiful witches of wisdom, Barbara Micklejohn-Free and Flavia Kate Peters. Merrily you've rolled along, whistling tunes and a singing of song. Stability gets you back on track. Enjoy the ride and don't look back. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be. There it is done. I think that's a perfect place to leave it. Thank you so much for stopping by, Pile 2. All of my information is below if you'd like to book a reading or if you'd like to donate to this channel. And in the About section, it tells you all the things that I offer. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Blessed be. Aho. Okay, pile number 3, pile number 3, pile number 3, pile number 3. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to try and sit like this again. Let's see if this will work. I had a weird pain from my other thing. Okay. All right, hi, pile number 3. Okay, so we're going to call that at 4750. 4750, ooh, which is also, what, the number 7? So, what is your tree? What is your tree? What is your tree? Okay, so, what is their main message for, oh, welcome to the jungle. Let me make sure that's the one. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. They're saying yes, it is. Okay, so welcome to the jungle. What is their tree? Welcome to the jungle. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. You know why? Because I'm like, this card, it's the only one. All the other cards are like, you know, like this, like upright, you know, like the trees and that. And I think, and there may be another one in the deck like this, but I'm pretty sure this is the only one. And look at that. That deep-rooted, but gnarly, right? And it's like, almost looks like a jungle. Like it's not easy to get through, right? It's not easy to get through these branches. Like they've just taken over. The tree is so old and it's so rooted that its vines have just like kind of taken over. And I feel like this is you guys, man. Actually, I'm really excited because I want to see what this says, but also I'm excited to pull the Witch's Wisdom for you guys, because pile number 2 there were some old souls, and you guys are too. Like, I get this very ancient, like eagle, very, very, very deep rooted, very old witchy voodoo, like that, you know, like and in a cool way. Sorry, I don't know if that freaked you out. I saw something recently where somebody did that, and it kind of like, but it also like shook me to my core. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like you guys are like old voodoo magic, like really deep rooted old voodoo magic. So let's hear what the oak tree has to say, because there is some powerful wisdom coming from this tree. Seek the ancient knowledge and wisdom. The symbol is acorns. When we're out of balance, we're unstable, ungrounded, and feeling out of body. Have some of you guys been feeling like that, right? But when we're in balance, we're connected to inner strength and courage. The meditation is place your feet on the earth or floor. Feel rooted to Mother Earth and reach for Father Sky and breathe. Breathe. I'll do it this way so you can, if you want to get a screenshot of that. Yeah, so it sounds like, you know, here you are, these old souls, but you're super ungrounded. We're going to start pulling some cards, but what I'm getting from Spirit right away is you guys are overthinking everything. You're overworking everything. Like, I'm getting this kind of like abort, warning, Will Robinson. Like, I feel like you guys are like in that movie Blast from the Past. If you haven't watched it, it's really cute and it's good for a chuckle. And I think you need to see something like that right now, because the Chicken Little, like, I'm getting this, you know, welcome to the jungle, it gets worse here every day. Look up the Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses, and really like listen to the words, like get the lyrics out and like listen to the words, because I'm feeling like that's how you guys are. And they're like, you know, they're like, welcome to the jungle, baby, you're gonna die. And it's like, you can look at it like ah, I'm gonna die. You can look at it like, we're all gonna fucking die. We're all gonna die. Everybody's gonna die. Nobody makes it out here alive. That's been like the theme lately. And I'm not going to get into all that, because, yeah, I believe in The Walking Dead and vampires. No, I believe in everything, because if we can think it, then it's true, right? However, do we want to live forever in the same body, in the same human form, or do we want to like go back out, kind of like, you know, go other places and maybe come back to Earth? And, you know, this isn't the only planet, this isn't the only place. It's just a very unique, awesome, special place, but it's not the only one, right? It's not the only world that we get to, you know, there's so much out there. The more I notice how much is out there, there are times where I get so frustrated with Earth where I'm just like, oh, please, can I go? Like, I've done enough now. Let me go somewhere else. I get you. I feel you. However, you kind of got to stay. Well, you don't have to do anything. That's the thing. You don't have to do anything, right? But when you're as old as you are, when you have such old ancient magic like this oak tree, you came here for a purpose. So you kind of got to pull up your bootstraps and, you know, fucking tie them tight and get back out there. But that's the thing, is like they don't want you to go like balls to the wall and like not, like what I'm hearing is you guys aren't taking a breather. You're not taking a break. You're just like going. And they're saying that's not realistic. You can't. You're in a human avatar. And the only way human avatars can go is if they have a really good night of sleep, and they're feeding their bodies good food and putting really good things on their body, right? So all of these things come into play. You are a superhero, but you're playing in a superhero body. If you remember in the movie Avatar, which is why there's so much coming back out again with that, right? If you remember in the original movie, it's like, she's upset when she can't be in the avatar, because she's like, I can do so much more when I'm in the avatar than when I'm like as a human, you know. She's like, I have a much greater strength, you know. But also I'm hearing it's like the old oh, look at that. This was for some of you guys feel like this, right? Like you feel really strangled. I was like, who's trying to strangle me? But they're like using it as a metaphor, right? But they're saying with great strength comes great responsibility. Uncle Ben from Spider-Man, right? Is the oxygen mask theory. You are so old. This, you know, especially you're part of this tribe. You've probably heard me say this 100 times, right? If you're not taking care of yourself, how the hell are you going to take care of anybody else? As RuPaul says, if you don't love yourself, how are you going to take care of anyone else? How are you going to love anybody else? So candles, candle magic. Woo! look at you, old voodoo. What did I just say? Hoodoo voodoo. By the way, this looks very alien. Doesn't this like kind of look like an alien face at the top? We're all aliens. That's the thing. It's like there's not more, one, better, less, you know. Ooh, interesting. So normally it would be, but I find it interesting that it was like this, and I'm going to show you. They want you to see these cards. Here we go. Hold on. They want you to see these cards side by side. Because some of you are having a really hard time with your Lord our God. Because this is Lord/God, right? And it's a masculine energy. But first off, what they want me to say is that for some of you, you're having a hard time with your magic because see how like the magic is on the bottom of this card and the Lord God is it's like this is how you see yourself and the world and your magic. Like God isn't you, right? We are God. We are all one. Yes, something created us, our Lord God creator, like something created us, whatever language you want to put, but we are a part of them. So, you know, it's like, it's about just, you know, it's not about some crazy atonement where you got to, you know, like the old school Christian thing where you got to like torture yourself. No, it's just like, it's about respect. It's about respecting the masculine energy in yourself, right? Because right now, as the divine feminine is rising back up onto the surface, it doesn't mean that we go, ha ha, fuck you, masculine. I mean, like that dark, right? Like we don't need to go that far, right? So they're saying like the masculine energy is a part of us. We talked about the divine feminine in the Real Talk reading for the tribe. For the link will be below. You know, and now it's like here it is for you guys. So maybe for some of you, you got the feminine down, but it's the masculine, right? You're not giving Father Odin the respect that he deserves, and it's like for some reason, you know, like maybe in the church or the way you were raised, it's like magic is evil, and it's one or the other, and they're like, no, they're one and the same. They're one and the same. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm going to read the book just because I feel they want us to. And it's so interesting because we were just singing hymns in the last group, and now I just heard it. Oh Lord our God. Da, 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 da. How great thou art keeps coming up. Thanks, Dad. That was my dad's favorite hymnal. Hymnal. Lord God masculine, toughen up, be self-reliant, brave and bold, become a giant, honor your male energy, used wisely, it will set you free. This is magic with harm to none, so mote it be, there it is done. The witch's wisdom says, the power of the Lord God is required for the situation you are inquiring about. Toughen up and use the masculine energy that pulses through your very being. Yeah, they're saying like, you know, you can fight, like you need your masculine right now to fight this. Like, you know, because some of you are getting caught up in this, like the jungle. Like, you know, you can't see, like you can see the other like bits beyond it, but you're like, I can't tell, is that the leaves from this tree or is that I don't know, I'm not going in there. That looks scary. And they're like, but there's a portal. There's a portal for you right here. They're like, it's okay, you're going to be safe, everything's going to be fine. But it's like, you're afraid of your own magic. Like, you're afraid of what you can do. And it's because, for some of you, if you chose this pile, it's because your masculine is what you need to, like, put to the forefront. This is, you know, it doesn't mean that you're not brave because you're a woman, right? Like, it's not about that. It's energy. That's why we have Mars and Venus, right? It's like we have masculine energy and we have feminine energy. It's a yin and yang. It's like pairing the two together. So they're saying, don't like deny your masculine energy. Don't deny that side of you, you know, or maybe you're somebody who's like all up in the magic and having fun with the fairies, but you're just like, you know, I don't need this or whatever. I'm just going to like be in this strong feminine divine. They're like, bring the balance back. Also, I'm hearing for some of you, either you're a Libra or you're dealing with a Libra. I feel like all of a sudden it went to a relationship that was kind of odd and interesting. Take a sip of water. All right, I'm feeling this like, as an empath, I'm like trying not to take it out, but I'm feeling some of you guys kind of like, I know, I don't want to hear this, but you know I need to hear it, right? Because the best medicine is the tough medicine, right? Because that's where we grow. When we take it in and we don't judge it and we don't put our ego around it and we embrace the change and we learn from it. So, the power of the Lord God is required for the situation you're inquiring about. Toughen up and use the masculine energy that pulses through your very being. Whether you are male or female, you must acknowledge the natural presence of both energies that reside within in order to make up the whole of who you are. Ooh, I love when it freezes like that. I hope my face doesn't freeze that way. Ooh, that was at 5846. So they want you to look up angel number 5846. 5846. Okay. It's like doing its own thing. Oh, and 5857. Interesting. Okay. Right now, you are urged to connect with your masculine side and to harness the driving force of independence. A rational and analytical attitude is required in order to override any emotions that often rule you. Unleash your rebellious streak and be willing to use force if you have to. This is not a time to be passive or accepting. The Lord God is waiting to be, it says Lord/God, is waiting to be called upon so that He can provide you with the tools you need for the battle ahead. With the divine masculine on your side, you can be sure that you are on the winning team. This is an auspicious omen. Especially with all the energy that's happening right now. Again, these are timeless, but I'm recording this on October 25th, 2020. Which is foresight. Your emotions have influenced you. Logic needs to be used at this time. Do not accept the first offer that's presented. Draw strength from past experiences. This situation calls for you to be rational. Being highly driven and competitive serves you well now. Be a rebel. The Lord God revealed says, when calling upon the Lord, you are beseeching the male essence of the all. He is fatherhood who offers both protection and strength. The three aspects of the God is seen as nature's youth, father, and the elder, right? So you're looking at like, get it, the youth male, the father male, and the elder male, like the masculine energy. So maybe there's somebody that, maybe it's you are this, maybe it's something that you need to encompass. Maybe it's somebody that you're looking towards, like maybe a grandfather, a father figure, or maybe it was a little boy when you were growing up. Like maybe you need to channel one of their energies to help you like really embrace that masculine side of yourself. And it doesn't matter if you, whatever you align with on earth in this human body. Do you understand? Okay. The three aspects of the God are this. So we just spoke of. You can choose to work with whichever aspect of the God you are drawn to bring into your life at any given time. Okay, so we're going to go to that. And hold on. Okay, I had to turn the heat off. It's weird. It was like 26 degrees when I woke up in here. And anyway, let's move on to the candles. The candle magic. Candles. Okay. Magic comes from deep within. Ignite the flame. Let it begin. Desires in mind. Don't be the fool. Focus as you choose your tool. This magic has worked with harm to none, so mote it be. There it is done. Your desire to work as a magical practitioner is acknowledged as candles illuminate the path of the wise for you. The spark of inner wisdom calls you to invoke the divine, for true magic begins with your desire to make something happen. Okay, you guys, I feel like I'm having a hot flash. It's really wild. You guys are you fire signs? Or are you like, I'm just feeling a lot of heat coming my way. I know sometimes it's hard to take that medicine, but just take it in. Be the observer, be the eagle, right? Old medicine, like I said, be the eagle, be the observer, be the phoenix rising out of the ashes, right? Like you're hot, you're in the embers right now, and you're like, I know, and you're in that, I don't want to, and they're like, listen, Oak, you are deep rooted here. We need you now. If not now, when? If not now, when? The spark of the inner wisdom calls you to invoke the divine, for true magic begins with your desire to make something happen. Time for a little candle magic. As you gaze into the sacred flame, you are reminded of your true connection to the source, for your soul spark is immortal. Never doubt your abilities of focus, willpower, and visualization, for in doing so, you are disregarding the powers of the world that live beyond that which is seen. Remember, all is magic and illusion. This sacred act of candle magic has been with you since your very first birthday. As you blew out the flickering flame before you and made a wish. You worked with the three principles of magic that make dreams come true. Oh, that's so cool. I never put that together, but that makes a lot of sense, right? Because even as a baby, we may not be able to like speak whatever, but when you're one, like you've been here a year, you know shit. Like you've like been, especially old souls like us, right? Like we probably did. So they're like, make a wish, blow out the candle. You like, well, okay, I understand what a wish means. And it's like, what did you wish for when you were a baby, when you were one? Wow, I can't wait to meditate on this. So thanks you guys for pulling this card. Oh my gosh, I love this. This is like seriously, like I feel I can't even explain it. Like I just feel like some like magic just happened just from us talking about it. As you gaze into the sacred flame, you are reminded of your true connection to the source, for your soul spark is immortal. Never doubt your abilities of focus, willpower, and visualization, for in doing so, you are disregarding the powers of the world that live beyond that which is seen. Remember, all is magic and illusion. This sacred act of candle magic has been with you since your very first birthday. As you blew out the flickering flame before you made a wish, you worked with the 3 principles of magic that make dreams come true. Belief in your tools as well as yourself is key as you keep in mind the 3-fold law when performing any magic ritual. The Witch's Foresight says, this is a magical time for you. Your manifesting abilities are strong. Keep your thoughts and focus positive. Use candles at home, at bath time, and in sacred ceremony. Study candle colors for healing and magical purposes. Keep shining brightly. Yeah, I saw this. Like for some of you, I saw that. Like that candle magic. If you've ever been to a metaphysical store and they have like different colors, they all have different meanings, right? Like green for money, red for passion, yellow for happiness, things like that. They're more in depth than that, but I'm just giving you like a, so work with that. Obviously, candle gazing, and I should say fire gazing is like a really powerful thing too. Like just looking into it. You could put music on or don't have any music on. Just like look into it. I think it's best when you hear nothing, right? Because then you're just like your inner like self is talking to your higher self, is like really channeling with like the divine. Really powerful. This is a magical time for you. Your manifesting abilities are strong. Keep your thoughts and focus positive. Use candles at home. We talked about that. Keep shining brightly. Candles revealed. Since Roman times, candle magic has been used for spells, prayers, focus, and honoring of the god and goddess. Spellcasting is sympathetic magic, and by using a candle, you can focus your intent or will to make manifest that which you deserve. Colored candles invoke different spells by combining their vibrations with intention. Yes, and I'll tell you something. Every time I light a candle, I say something. So that's why a lot of times my clients, especially my regular clients, I had one recently where she was like, hey, can you say a prayer for me and light a candle? I'm really having a rough time with this X, Y, and Z situation. I'm like, sure. Some people get paid for that. I'm just like, my regular clients, I'm like, don't be ridiculous. They always bless me in so many ways. So it's like, of course I will. But putting that intention in. So, when you go to light a candle, you can call on, the masculine energy, say Father Odin, God, Lord, Creator, whatever feels good to you. To me, I feel like our Creator is both divine, feminine, and masculine. So I don't feel, I feel like this is a specific modality of that, but that's me. So whatever works for you. Do you understand? Okay, so that's for that magic. And I think we're done. I'm going to see if anything else comes up. But this is interesting because this one had turned over. We pulled this one in the last one, but if it's meant to be, it'll come back. Okay, did you just see that one push out? I was like, okay. Watchtower of the West, Autumn. I put this one back in. I saw it. It was on the other side, and I was like, oh, I don't think we're supposed to. And then it literally popped out. So let's go to this one. If any other ones are meant to be, we will go there. But Watchtower of the West, Autumn, and we are in autumn right now, which is really powerful. Watchtower of the West. The west brings the water. Let's get it. We can get it really good. The west brings the water, so it may impart connection and healing, and open your heart. Autumn reflects all that's to reveal. Cast magic at dusk for emotions to heal. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be. There it is done. We were talking about the dark night of the soul. That's the theme of this reading, so that's really powerful, right? So these are the things that you need to like work on to help you work, to get to, the end. Because I feel like for a lot of you guys, that's why when we're in the shit, when it feels like the worst, is when we are healing the most. I know it's hard to hear, but it's the truth. Now I'm freezing again. You guys, make up your mind. Are we going to be warm or are we going to be cold? Well, you don't have to make up your mind. Anyway. So this says, calling upon the guardians and gatekeepers of the West. But they do it like, calling upon the guardians and gatekeepers of the West, exclamation. That's the witch's wisdom. The season of autumn brings you regeneration as it works in conjunction with the elements of water. By visiting the Watchtower of the West, you are being assisted to enhance your psychic abilities as your emotions heal and become balanced. Whilst nature starts to turn within itself, reflect on where you have been and what has been done during the preceding months. Allow water to wash over you to achieve harmony, inner peace, and tranquility. The West will open your heart and rein in any oversensitivity. The West will open your heart and rein in any oversensitivity. I feel like I was in Groundhog Day. Like, it's like I knew I was saying it again, and they were like making me say it again. They're like, if you didn't hear it the first time. So I heard this recently. I'm going to list 3 meditations in a row from Steve Noble. I actually did them in a row. I don't know if we talked about it already. I know I talked about it with the other piles, but they'll be in the description below. But they were very empowering and very awesome. And what did you say about that? Why? Oh, right. Because one of them, I think it was the third one, talked about emotions and how, you know, a lot of us as empaths, we've like kind of we have taken on this victim, like, well, I'm an empath and I'm whatever, but it's like, yes, we feel it, but that doesn't mean we have to hold on to that feeling, you know, right? It's like when our bodies, like, I know for my own personal experience, when we have something that happens, whether it's like we're shot or something, a shock happens, we find out of a sudden death, you know, anything that's like a shock, we don't feel it, right? Like when we lose someone, like I know I've had it where, like, I love food, but I've had instances where I've lost, I was shocked that someone died, and I was in such sadness that I didn't even eat for days. I realized I didn't eat for 2 days, right? Because I wasn't even like noticing that I didn't eat because I was such in shock. Well, it's okay to have those emotions and have that, but it's like, but do you think the person that died would want me to stay in that state for 2 days? You know, of course not. They'd want, you know, us to mourn them and feel, you know, whatever, but we never die. So they just went on to another incarnation. And I know from personal experience, and you guys know this too, if you're here and you're on this channel and you chose pile number 3, you know, you're a powerful psychic, you're a powerful empath, right? So you, if your loved one has passed over, ooh, I just got the chills. So this may be for someone specifically. If someone has recently passed over and you're not dealing with it very well, or maybe for some of you, this person passed on like 9 years ago. I literally heard like 5, and then I heard the number 9. So for some of you, or it could just be a situation that happened, like maybe you lost a job, or somebody broke up with you. But for some of you, like, you are the part of the welcome to the jungle is like your own brain, like your own turmoil. You are keeping yourself in this emotional prison that you have built for yourself. And my whole body's a chill. It's time to set it free. It's time to let it go. And you can feel those things, but don't hold on to them, because you're allowing them to rule your world. I was doing that too. I would get into these things where I'm like, I just want to be depressed today, or maybe I just want to be sad today. And that's true, and that's fine. But it's like, don't linger in it too long. Right? Especially now, we need to keep the vibration high, and you're here. So like, we need your magic now. If not now, when? If not now, when? This has been coming up over and over and over from the 9, from all of my spirit guides. If not now, when? Like, this is it. Step it up. You know, and it's going to keep going. So, you know, you'll fall into place when you're meant to, or whatever. But this is a huge wake-up call for you. You were meant to, if you were pulled to this reading for the dark night of the soul, then you already know it. Like, you're in it. You're going through it. But you're going to get out of it. That's what I'm telling you. I'm here to tell you from my own personal experience. You will get out of it. I'm still in, you know, and we're always going to revisit things. I listened to those 3 meditations right in a row. I had the luxury this morning to just listen to all 3 of them right in a row. And it was amazing how much I went through, how much I shed, how much of the ancestors, you know, through the, through the grief meditation and the beginner's meditation. And the beginner's meditation, even if you've meditated a million times, it's like, I love that meditation because it helps me kind of reground and center to like what I need to hear and listen, and to kind of bring me back to source, bring me back to body, get me grounded again, get me deeply rooted again. So oak tree, you guys, you know, your roots go really, 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 really deep. But also some of you, you're an ent. Just because you have deep roots doesn't mean you can't pick up those roots and take them somewhere else, and deep roots somewhere else, and bring your teaching and your love somewhere else. And I don't know if you noticed, but I swear I feel like this tree got lighter and brighter. It's like the lighting shifted or something, but That's you guys. Like, they don't want you to live in this darkness anymore. Like, it's not a jungle. It's only a jungle if you choose it to be. You're creating it, and you're using it as an excuse and leverage so that you don't have to do X, Y, and Z. And now that people have, like, you know, brought it to the forefront, where, like, what empaths are, HSPs, highly sensitive people, all these things, we're recognizing that. However, it's getting really overused too, because there's really only about 15% of the people on the planet who are true empaths and HSPs. Other people, I think, you know, kind of like, you know, use it to their advantage. Yeah, you may be a sensitive person, but you're a lot tougher than you acknowledge, right? Or you're a lot more deep rooted than you let on. So that was like for whatever. Okay, so listen. By visiting the Watchtower of the West, you are being assisted to enhance your psychic abilities as your emotions heal and become balanced. Whilst nature starts to turn within itself, reflect on where you have been and what has been done during the preceding months. Allow water to wash over you to achieve harmony, inner peace, and tranquility. The West will open your heart and rein in any oversensitivity, right? So allow your emotions, like, work with them, acknowledge them, and then be like, but I'm a loving light being, so, you know, everything's going to be okay. Like, let yourself go through whatever, and then remind yourself that and bring your vibration up, because when you bring your vibration back up, then it's easier for the good stuff to come to you. Otherwise, you've got this chaos in front of you all the time. So you're like, why aren't things happening for me? Why aren't things happening for me? I can't see you. I can't see you. And it's like, okay, well, you're the one that's doing it. So I know that was annoying. That was annoying for all of us, right? But that's what they're saying. It's like, you are the old wise one. Use it wisely, right? So the West will open your heart and rein in any oversensitivity. It's like they keep making me re-say it. Connect with the king and queen of this season and receive a much needed cleansing and healing on all levels. I also heard go hiking through woods that are beautiful, leaves are changing. Go take yourself on a beautiful nature bath. The color blue represents the element of water and should be used in accordance with your magical workings at the time of dusk. Autumn brings emotions to the surface in association with the card that flanks this one. So, what was the one that flanked this one? Ooh. Earth and grounding. Getting grounded, right? Overachievers. Look deep within to determine what really matters. The old ways that you viewed yourself and others are falling away. Don't let your sensitivity get the better of you. Time for some peace and inner work. Time for you. Yes, get grounded. See this bird flying? Like, they want you to feel this freedom. Get grounded. What else? And when you're working with the watchtowers of the east, west, north, and south, this is how they're going to say this, and I'll put this up so you can screenshot it. Hail and welcome, guardians of the watchtowers of the west, those who never sleep. The element of west is water. The tool is the chalice. As twilight descends in the autumnal mists, we connect with our inner emotions as our roots grow deep inside the belly of the earth. The god and the goddess are now king and queen of earth's bounties. So if you want to get a screenshot of that, and make sure that you can get the whole thing in there. Can you get a screenshot of that? So you can call them in. And you may want to research that. I actually researched it and then I wrote it all down, and I actually have a piece of paper. When I want to do it, I can go somewhere so I don't have to like have my phone or something. And I've called the Four Corners before. It's really cool, but make sure you know what you're doing. Like doing it with love and intention, everything will be fine. But it's fucking powerful. It is powerful, and it's not just like watching The Craft kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's some powerful shit. And you don't want to fuck with forces that you don't understand. That's what I like to tell people. Let's get a culmination card. This one a little longer than all the other ones, but I get it, my oak trees. You guys are old. You're sturdy. You're stuck in your ways. You're stubborn. I'm getting some Taurus energy. Ooh, did you see that pop out? Abracadabra with wings. Abracadabra literally means magic. It literally means speak into being. That's what abracadabra translates to. Fantastic good fortune and lucky chances. See? This is what's waiting for you. This is what's waiting for you. You got this. You got this. Just reground, refocus, get yourself back to your own magic. All right, that's all I got for you, pile number 3. Thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. I love you. If you'd like to book a reading with me or do you like to donate to the channel, all the information is below. All the other stuff, there's a lot of things from the other readings too. There were some recommendations that'll be below. And if you have any questions about my services, look in the About section. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye. Have a blessed day. Blessed be. Oh. Okay, pile number 4, pile number 4, pile number 4. We're at, wow, 118. I'm going to say 118. Ooh, actually they said 118.01. So 118.01, pile number 4, pile number 4. Appetite for destruction. Ah! I already kind of have a feeling. I don't know which is your tree yet. Oh, actually, I did see it earlier. So you are the hawthorn. You are the hawthorn tree, and this is your message. This is from the Wisdom of the Tall Ones. Let me find the book. Where are you, Wisdom of the Tall Ones book? Oh, there it is. Okay. The hawthorn. And this comes from the Wisdom of the Tall Ones deck. This is from one of my shamans, Layla Lee, Dancing Spider Woman. Beautiful, beautiful book. Beautiful set of cards, and they were actually illustrated by Linda Torres. Linda Torres, they actually did a really cool thing together. They had me tell you this, so it must mean something. So Layla is the channel, and Linda is the artist. And so Linda went through and painted a bunch of different, like literally did paintings of different trees, did different paintings of different trees and different scenes, nature scenes. And then Layla did all of the spirit work behind them. Isn't that cool? So anyway, I don't know if this, I heard the word collaboration, so maybe that is like an answer for some of you guys, you know, because I'm just channeling right now. I'm hearing like if you're thinking about collaborating with somebody, absolutely. If you're thinking about, I'm also hearing if you're somebody who wants to write a book, like maybe a children's book or something, but you're like, I don't know how to draw. I don't, you know, it's not about that. Get the book together. And then, ooh, I'm getting the chills. So this is specifically for somebody. These readings are timeless. But right now, today is October 25th, 2020. So for some reason, I was meant to say that. For each pile, it came up differently. So it's very interesting. But again, when you see this, it doesn't matter. But for some of you, it does, because it means like, you know, time waits for nobody. So sometimes we do have like windows of things, of when we're meant to work on things, when we're meant to do things. And I'm kind of getting that for you guys. Like, you know, if you've been thinking about getting a partner, or if you've been thinking this is where I'm hearing like collaboration. So whether it's for business, for art, or whatever, I'm hearing yes, 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 yes. But this is the time to do it. Do not concern yourself with the virus or any of that kind of stuff. I'm not nonchalant. I'm not saying it's not real or people didn't die. It's not about that. I'm just saying if you're here and you're on this channel, most likely you are never going to get this. You couldn't get it if you tried. You're a starseed. Your body isn't made up that way. If you are awakened to your gifts, you are here seeking that out. Most likely that's not going to happen. So get the fear mentality out of your head and like get back into your creative, like inner person. Like I'm hearing that really strong, like getting, ooh, look at that. It's like the lights got brighter, right? So seek that out. So let's see what the hawthorn tree has to say. Hawthorn. Let yourself be enchanted. The symbol is fairy tales. When we're out of balance, we're apathetic and listless. So I'm hearing like for some of you, like you've got the ideas, you've got the fairy tales, but like you're not like putting them into action. So they're saying when you're in balance though, you're inspired, you're playful, and you're open to joy. So the only reason why it seems this, it all makes sense, right? Like it's because you can't do it by yourself, or maybe it's something you can do by yourself, but you need to seek out some inspiration. Whether it's a friend, maybe you have that friend that makes you laugh, and you know, you guys like, you know, you go to coffee together, or you smoke a joint, or you drink a bottle of wine, but when you get together, you like really get inspired and be like, oh, thanks, dude. Like I just got together with a bunch of my witchy sisters on October 13th, and I've been really stuck in my book. Like I kind of, it's so hard because I know exactly like how it is. Like I've already written the ending, I've written it, but I'm missing this one part. And we were standing there together, and all of a sudden I just had this moment, and I was like, it's like, I know what I'm going to do now. It's funny because I kind of forgot it again, but I know like when I go to write, I know I will, because Spirit was like, don't worry about it. But I had this like huge like moment where I was like, wow. So it's like it came out of nowhere because I was with, wherever two or more gather, right? My knees are, it's so cold today, and my limbs and my joints have been really struggling. But anyway, so do you hear that? Like, so collaboration, that's just a word that I keep hearing over and over and over and over. Collaboration. And meditation, the meditation is find merriment in your day, dance around and read fairy tales. Yeah, like maybe you need to see something, right? Like, I watched Tolkien recently, like the story of Tolkien, like how like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit actually came into play. And it was so good, and it gave me so many moments, and it also made me feel better because I've been feeling like, I know it's so silly because I know I tell this all the time, and I know this myself, that I know that it's going to come when it's meant to, and I know all these things, but you can't help it, right? Because you're like, but I want to do it now. I want to do it now. But it's like those moments where you realize like the inspiration will come when it's meant to come, but you have to put yourself in the moment with the inspiration, right? Like you can't just like expect it just to like come out of nowhere. You have to kind of meet it halfway, right? Like you have to meet yourself halfway. What did you say? Do you hear this? They're like telling me, oh, I think we're meant to pull, let's see. I have two different decks here. There's more of the trees, so let's see if there's any more of the tree magic or tree medicine that wants to speak with you guys. We've been pulling from the Witch's Wisdom, and some of the other ones pulled trees, but we had pulled them from the day before. They're saying yes, no, but not really. I don't know what that means. Okay, so cherry tree. Let's see what the cherry tree had. It's so funny. I instantly thought of George Washington, which is really funny, because even though I know that story, I guess I didn't like. That's interesting. Okay, let's see what the cherry has to say. I'm downloading a lot. There's a lot coming through. I'm like, what is happening? Oh, embrace joy and love. The symbol is fruit, the fruit. When you're out of balance, you're not valuing self and what you have to offer. When you're in balance, you're playful, honoring achievements, attracting healthy relationships. Yeah, so why you're feeling out of balance and why you sought this out and why you were pulled to pile number 4 is like you already have it. Like I feel like you're in this kind of roller coaster, right? Where like some days you're like, I'm really loving it, everything's good, and then you have like these other days where you're like, but maybe I should be. You're down here and you're like, maybe I should do this, or how come this isn't happening, or how come that isn't happening? And Spirit's like, well, because you have to get through this to get through that, but also you have to like believe in yourself. This is your yes. This is your believe in yourself. This is Spirit telling you, yes, go ahead with that project. Yes, go ahead with that business partner. Yes, for love relationship, it's interesting because I feel like I heard somebody ask about love relationship, and then I just heard not quite yet. So I do believe that for some of you, though, that the business relationship is going to turn into a love relationship. But don't go there now. That's not what it's about. It's about the journey, not the destination. Okay, so that message isn't going to be for everybody, but for some of you, you know who this is. I'd love to hear about it. Comment below. That's kind of interesting. But yeah, so when we're in balance, though, we're honoring that. And we're saying, I am worthy. Yeah, I'm just as good as them. I'm just as good as they are. Well, of course you are. You know what I mean? It's like everybody has something to bring to the table. We are not all the same. Thank goddess we're not all the same, right? So the meditation on this is do something fun and celebrate the beauty that is you. Celebrate the beauty that is you. Yes, you're one of a kind. You're special. It's like the cherry, the fruit, right? Like, it's like you're ripe for the picking too. Like I'm hearing that from Spirit, like that kind of like, Oh, also your homework, watch Witches of Eastwick. There's a kind of creepy scene in there about the cherries, but it also has to do with your magic, right? So like for some of you, be really mindful because, maybe you're just sitting there thinking about somebody in a spiteful way, but you're sending like dark energy their way. You're like, like you don't even realize it. And like, maybe you'll see them later and they'll be like, I was walking down the street and I just like tripped out of nowhere. I almost fell in front of a car. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Like you're that powerful that it's like they're saying like be mindful of your words and your, even then I just felt somebody go, yeah, that's right, I'm powerful. Yes, but this is the time, this is the dark night of the soul, right? This is where we're really dealing with the ego. This is what Spirit's been talking about. The ego, the ego, the ego, the ego. And the ego is edging God, Goddess out. Ooh, I just felt like this energy right here. Do you see the trees and the shadow of it? Right? It's like Spirit's always seeing what you're doing. Your higher self is always hovering about. So, don't always take the easy way out. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we weren't getting any spirit animals. Ooh, but be like the wolf, because the wolf is all about being the teacher. Be the teacher, be the leader. It's also the number 6. Look up angel number 6 and look up wolf spirit medicine. Ooh, that was really, yeah, it's like, I almost feel like you guys are getting a little mini scolding, and not in a bad way, right? Because, like, they want you to embrace it and they want you to have a good time, but also it's like with integrity, right? Like, have integrity through all this, you know? You don't have to do anything, right? Like, none of us have to do anything. We don't have to do anything, but how we show up in the world and what happens is on us. Like how we treat others. Wow, holy shit, did you see that? Oh my gosh, the cherry tree flew out again. And then this one, I did see this one, but again, I wasn't sure, but it flew out. It's the silver fir. Ooh, look at that. Oh, I love that. It reminds me of Christmas, winter. So, ooh, right away I'm hearing going inward, going inward. You need to go inward. This winter, go inward. Even if you live in a warm climate, it's like, you know, keep this imagery in your head. You know, maybe you live in Hawaii or Arizona or Florida or something. It's like, but they're saying like, keep this imagery, or maybe you're in the southern hemisphere and it's, you know, summer, going into summer for you. So, you know, keep this in your mind of this kind of imagery when you're going in for the solitude. That was crazy how that just opened. The message is honor the inner and outer worlds. The symbol is the pine cone. So the next time you're out walking in the woods or whatever, when you see a pine cone, pick it up and put it on your altar and say a little prayer and honor the ancestors. So pine cone, when you're out of balance, you're bogged down with details and you're losing perspective. But when you're in balance, you're the visionary. You're seeing all points of view with clarity. We spoke about this in pile number 3 about the eagle, right? Like you want to rise above the situation, because when you see it from above, when you take yourself emotionally out of a situation and you see it from above, that is when the magic really happens. Because you, even though you're like, look what they did to me, look what happened to me, instead of looking at it, look at what happened for me, look at what happened, you know, to me, in a good way, not like in a, you know, you did this, it's like, no, it's like, look at it from a higher perspective. Even now, I'm going through something like that myself, but I've, because what I'm finding is, I can put my energy to this one thing, but it's not going to like help it. It's, if anything, it's going to make it worse. So I'm just going to keep myself in a high vibration as much as possible, because as much as I stay in the high vibration, then that positive energy comes to me, right? We're not putting that scattered energy out there. So when we're in balance, we're the visionary and we're seeing all points of view from clarity. And they want me to say again, from an outsider's perspective. Don't take it personally. Read the 4 agreements. If you don't want to read the book, at least look up the 4 agreements. One of them is, don't take anything personally. The meditation is, visualize a pine cone in its wholeness and look within to see all the seeds it holds. Are you able to see your role as the pine cone, or seeds of creativity in the world around you? Okay, so if you want to get a screenshot of that. That's really powerful. Why, thank you. Why, thank you. Why, thank you. Why, thank you. Did we go anywhere else, or do we want to go anywhere else? Pile number 4. Do we want to go to the Witch's Wisdom deck? Let's see if there's any more wisdom from the tall ones. Is any more wisdom from the tall ones? Wisdom from the tall ones. Wow, you guys are getting a lot of trees today. The palm tree. The palm tree. Ooh, is that interesting? I was just talking about that. Isn't that funny? So it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you live. But now we got a message from the silver fir, and now we're going to get a message from the palm. I love that. Love the duality. Also, that must mean balance for you guys. So I felt like that. I feel like we've been getting a lot of Libra energy here. And also, I think the new moon, or something is going back into Libra, or just did. My astrology is not that strong. I apologize. I know we're in Scorpio season. Happy birthday, Scorpios, by the way, if you're a Scorpio. Okay, so the palm message is purify. The symbol is the palm cross, rigid Christian 4 directions. But like, I want you to see it like this, right? So it's like, however you're going to look at it. So the 4 directions are north, south, east, and west. But that's the palm cross, right? So it's like north, south, east, and west. If you look at it like that, like a cross, right? When we're out of balance, we're taking on the energy of others. When we're in balance, we're being responsible for our own energy and filtering what doesn't belong, right? Exactly. Taking responsibility for ourselves and not playing the victim. That's not what you're here to do. You are not a victim. This didn't happen to you. It happened for you. And sometimes it feels like it happened to us, but that's just because when we get all these things, right, where we get all these opportunities to make these changes, we get all these opportunities for growth. But then it finally gets to the point where our higher self is like, you know what, that's it. I'm kicking you out of the nest. And it's like, you better fly. Because that's it. You better start flapping those wings because no, you know what I mean? Like they're going to catch you, but it's like you're going to catch yourself. But you've been allowing too much of letting spirit and all these outside forces. And they're saying, no, now it's time to like stand in your own and take responsibility for yourself. The meditation is visualize cleansing yourself and space with palm fronds. Sweep away that which no longer serves you. Remember, you came to this reading, one of your spirit guides, I feel like your higher selves are saying this to all of you. Like you were drawn to this, right? It was literally titled Dark Night of the Soul. If you didn't want to hear this medicine, then you should have gone to the reading of Fluffy Bunnies and Unicorn Feathers. You know what I mean? I don't even know where they came from, and it just filtered out, right? But that's what they're saying, right? This is some tough love. This is the tough love we all need right now. The dark night of the soul, we're not victims. The dark night of the soul is something that we choose. We either do it or we don't, right? Or we stay in it for the rest of our lives and stay miserable. The elevation has changed. The vibration has changed. The dimensional energy has changed. See how we're in the 5D right now? I don't know what's going on either, but I'm just going with the flow of what's happening with the lighting and the energy. You're going to the 3D. It's almost like, I feel like you guys are going to the 3D so that you can feel better about yourselves when you're in the 5D. Because when you're in the 5D, you kind of are like, I'm not worthy, I'm not worthy. And they're like, you are worthy. You're absolutely worthy. Like, what? Like, where is that coming from? But what is it coming from? The dark night of the soul, inner child, family, you know, past relationships, work, whatever it is, right? But that's what's stopping you from pushing you to the next step. You can have everything that you want. It's right there in front of you. They just told you it's right there, but you have to do the work, right? And you notice it went back down, the light went out. It was like, I felt like we had that, there it is again. I felt like we had that moment from Lord of the Rings. If you've never seen it, you must. But the Lord of the Rings scene where Galadriel, like where she's like, if I took the ring, and she goes into this thing and she's like, she goes into that kind of thing because Frodo goes to hand her the ring and she's like, oh, George. So that's what I felt like that was for a minute. Yeah, exactly. Spirit, I love you. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. But I know it's like how it's working, but it's also, right, divine. Like they're showing you. So it's like, it's your choice. Like, how do you want to show up? Do you want to show up as that bright white light? Or do you want to show up as the person that's like, you know, yeah, it's cool. You know, I'm still going to drink and smoke cigarettes and eat shitty food, but I'm still going to like do readings and spirit work for people. I'm still going to, you know, Reiki people, but I'm, you know, whatever. It's like, they're kind of calling us all to the carpet right now. They're all kind of like saying shit or get off the pot, but you can't have both. We can't have both. You can't live in both. We can't exist in both. We can go back to the 3D and look at things. Okay, we're done there. But we don't have to, there's no have to's anyway, right? But it's all in the way you look at it. Let's see if we're going to get any more from the witch's wisdom. I've got 2 pairs of pants on. I've got long underwear. I've got long underwear on. I've got my long socks on. I got my peacock socks on. I got my flannel pajamas. I got my long underwear shirt on. It was 26 degrees this morning. But luckily in Big Camper it was probably only like 50 because we have 2 little heaters going, so it was good. I can handle that. I can handle that. Anything under 50 is like too much. Nobody should have to wake up to anything under 50. Okay, any witch's wisdom for this beautiful pile? Anything you have to say? Ooh, I feel like you guys something's going on with your witch. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Ooh, 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 ooh. I don't know what they're doing. I'm not even doing anything. You see this? So this was, that's interesting because this was from one pile and this was from another pile. So we didn't read them, and this one we did, but this one we didn't. But this one is like, this is the broomstick, right? Clearing away all the debris, clearing away like that shit. It's like, just because you're in the dark night of the soul doesn't mean that you have to live there, you know? So when you go down there and you deal with it, sweep it away. I'm going to read both of them because anyway, there's a lot of things being said to me right now. So they asked me to go, ooh, look at the book opened up to Witch Healer. So I guess that some of you guys are struggling with your witch, huh? you're struggling calling yourself a healer or calling yourself a witch. It's like, and maybe that's what it is in your business. Is that what it is? Like you're don't know what to do, or you don't know how to start your own business. Well, I'm hearing like maybe you want to do it with a fellow friend and you're both interested in witchcraft. You know, you could start your own YouTube channel and document your progress and what you're learning, because there's a lot of people out there right now that don't know what they're doing. I know I'm changing things on my channel. A lot of people, a lot of different readers, I've been noticing people are changing, because we're all changing and evolving. We're supposed to. That's part of what it is. So, you know, it doesn't matter if you the thing that will draw people to you, and you are a leader, but what will help you feel more confident is when you're real about it. Stop trying to like put up some facade, right? Like I'm hearing for some of you, maybe you look like a witch or like you dress like a witch, but you're not actually like doing the practices. You're not like working, you don't even have an altar, or you're not lighting candles, or you're not like participating, right? Which we'll get to the spell work. But for some of you, it's like, no, you're a witch, or like you're acknowledging you're a witch, but you're kind of like putting out things that you're not even sure what you're talking about, which is fine, right? Because maybe you're just channeling pure stuff from your higher self. But I feel like even you are like not sure, but there's an integrity side of it for yourself that you're like, I probably should read into that a little bit more. I should research that a little bit more. It's like, I'm sure if I went back and looked at some of my stuff, I've had this channel for 2.5 years. I'm sure if I looked at things from the beginning, I'd probably be like, oh, how cute. You know, it's like, I've always been me, but like my baby witch, when I was coming out, like, I mean, I had a thing today when I did one of the meditations. I'm putting a bunch of meditations below, so if you're drawn to it, have at it. They're really awesome. I did all 3 of them back to back. They're really powerful. But you know, I had this moment where like in the grief one of them, it was something about forgiveness or whatever. And I sent a thing out to anybody I ever read for in the beginning, because I'm sure I gave false positives. I'm sure, you know, whatever. But it's like, that happens. We're not infallible here. Like, we are human. You're a light worker having a human experience, and they want you to remember that. So don't be so hard on yourself. Work with whatever feels good to you. You are a witch. You are a healer. Like, that is, if you were wondering if that's what you're meant to do, yes. Spell work, yes. Manifestation, yes. That's what spell work is. It's manifestation. And our words have power, right? So be mindful what you're saying in every, like with your emotions and connecting that all together. So it says, make a wish or cast a spell. Your magic works so very well. Be sure to keep the threefold law. Gifts will abound all the more. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be, there it is done. This is a good time for you to work spells, for magic abounds. Your manifestation abilities are heightened, and a magical energy runs through all that you put your focus on. Your gift at this moment in time to bring about what you desire is strong as, Your gift at this moment in time to bring about what you desire is strong as is your understanding of the elements, herbs, and candle magic. That was an interesting sentence. But remember to be careful what you wish for, as you could be blind to any unseen factors if the action you take is not for the highest good. Manifestation asks you to heed the threefold law and to remember that whatever you send out comes back. Exactly. That's what I was saying. It's like being really mindful of it. You know, even when we're thinking of things, it's okay to think of it for a second, but then you kind of like put it back in check, right? Like sometimes my mind will wander off to a fight I had with somebody 5 years ago, you know? I mean, it's just a natural thing. I think our brains are like computers, right? Or maybe there's something there that hasn't, obviously there is, and something there that hasn't healed, or there's something we wish we had done differently or said differently, but we can't take it back, right? So it's like, it's okay to like go there, but then I just automatically send it back love. You know, I'll say, I love you so much. I pray your life is really happy. You know, like, you know, sometimes I say forgive me or whatever, but like whatever feels good for you. But do you hear what I'm saying? I feel like I was meant to say that for somebody. So be transparent about your wishes and take into consideration any consequences that may occur. Live accordingly in harmony with a level of consciousness that will harm none, and be aware of your thoughts and words at every moment. Master this, and you will be in a position to receive all that you ask for. Exactly. Right? Like even now, it's like, I love doing these readings. When I put out and I say, if you'd like to book a reading with me or donate to this channel, yes, I mean that. Yes, because I deserve, you know, whatever. But it's like, I'm not doing it to try and like trick you to pay me, right? But sometimes like when I'm doing things like this and I'm like typing things out, or I'm, you know, putting in links or whatever, there's like this part of me, and I realize it's because I was raised to believe like you don't get something for nothing. And I was like, how come I don't, how come more people don't donate, or how come more people don't book this way, or whatever. Then I started to realize, well, then what am I doing it for? Am I doing it because I'm trying to get people to pay me? Or am I doing it because I really want to help people? If you know what I'm saying? It's like the chicken and the egg. Yes, I mean it. But yeah, of course I'd like to get paid for it. But it's about changing the intention of it. I'm not doing this to get paid. I'm not doing this to get clients. I'm doing this to genuinely, that's why I started this for my clients, because I didn't want them to have to like pay me all the time. Sometimes you just need a little check-in like this, right? And I love doing that. I love giving. I love. And things always come to me when I need them. But I had to really start thinking about that, because I was like, what's happening? How come this isn't happening? Why am I not making money? Or why isn't this happening for me? Ask yourself why certain things, whatever, but don't expect it. I don't know how to put it in any other way. I hope you're getting, because I don't know how to put it into another analogy, but I think you know where I'm going with that, right? But it's like, because at any given time, we're working from a different level of consciousness at any given time. So like I said, like my videos from a few years ago may help somebody, because they may be like, that's where they are right then, so they're totally going to connect. But like myself, I may go back and watch one of my videos and be like, oh, like, I feel much stronger in that area now. Like, I don't feel like I need to like keep revisiting that. Sometimes things will keep revisiting, but we don't have to keep rehashing things over and over and over and over again. Again, I feel like they're trying to, anyway, let's continue. Live according in harmony with a level of consciousness that will harm none, and be aware of your thoughts and words at every moment. Master this, and you will be in a position to receive all that you ask for. I feel like I just got the medicine there too, right? Like, I feel like I just heard my own medicine. That was awesome. So the witch's foresight is, you have the Midas touch right now. Remember to use clarity when visualizing your dreams. Use positive affirmations to ensure the outcome you wish for. Your spells are working. Study and follow the threefold law. That's the saying too, but your spells are working too, right? So like if you're putting something out negative against somebody, then it's like, if you put out negative, you're going to get negative. It's just the way it is. If you're doing binding spells on people, that's really, it's like, then you're saying that you know better than what they should be doing on their path, even if it's wrong to you, right? I bind you, Nancy, from the craft, right? I bind you, Nancy, from harming yourself and harming others, right? Like, that was her whole thing. She's like, I bind you from hurting people. But at the same time, it really wasn't her job to bind her. Spirit will bind her. Spirit will stop her when the time has come, or she'll kill herself, right? She'll get so like engrossed in her ego and the power from Mano. Like, I'm taking this from the movie, right? But I'm just like kind of like analyzing it. It's the same thing. It's like, you are so powerful. You are so powerful. So like, how are you gonna are you gonna implode your magic and like ruin your life, or are you gonna put out like good as much as possible and like bring love and light to you? Because the more you are in a high vibration, the more people want to be around you, right? And then they want to be in a high vibration. And then you say like, I don't want to be around your energy because it's not positive, right? I want to be in the light. I don't want to go in that like ego-driven darkness of the magic and forcing things to happen. I hope that helps. Okay, so the spell revealed is, when you create magical spells with your intent, desires, and goals, you need to be aware of the outcome. Do what you will, but harm none, as is the threefold law, right? As above, so below. We are all the same, so when you hurt somebody, you're hurting yourself. Your thoughts, actions, words, and deeds, as spoken or directed, need to be for the good of all, including you. Use powers of concentration, tools, and herbs to invoke magical effect. Yes. So we got that, right? I think we're good, you guys. Let me see if there's any more cards for you, because I'm feeling like we need to wrap it up. Are there any more cards for pile number 4? Any more for this? And also they're saying that's your appetite for destruction. Why you chose this pile? That's your appetite for destruction, because you've been in cycles of self-destruct. And you were raised, a lot of you, I feel like you were either raised in self-destruct, or you were in relationships, romantically, work, friends, or whatever, that were very destructive and not healthy for you. And you've kind of been in this tit for tat thing. That's how I know it was happening for me. It's like, it doesn't have to be tit for tat. It's all energy. It all flows. If we let go of it and let it flow, it comes to us. And I'll tell you, there are so many times that I'm just like, man, I really need this, I really need that. And I'll be like, am I doing these shows in vain, or am I doing this in vain? Am I helping anybody? Is anybody listening? Is anybody out there, you know? Ooh. And then like $20 will show up in my account, or somebody will be like, hey, can I get a reading with you? And it's like, I'll make $250 in like 3 hours. You know what I mean? So it's like, however you know what I mean? It's like you're the one that's weaving your magic. And look at, they had it in reverse for a reason. This is the Guardian card, the familiar. Oh, is that who? I feel like some of you, it was in reverse. Is that who? Did some of you lose? Was that you, or is that pile 3? Because now I feel like, now that I've gone, I'm like, I'm trying to remember. I think it was you guys, right? That we were talking about, like, maybe you lost somebody and you're getting stuck in that stuck in that emotion. Okay, so let's read this, the familiar, the Guardian. This is specific. I feel like this is very specific for one or a few of you. Familiar, Guardian. A bark, meow, squawk, or song. Look who appears, 'tis never wrong. Lighten your load, call to your side your new best friend, your familiar guide. This magic is worked with harm to none, so mote it be. There it is done. A familiar has turned up to assure you that you are never alone. For whether your path is an easy one or a struggle right now, you have a very real guardian and helper that is waiting to be called upon through the ether. Once you have asked for assistance in your magical work, use your diligence to be aware of the form that your assistance takes. You may notice a cat hanging around your back door, or you may be greeted by the tapping of a bird on your window. Your guardian may work with you through the form of a spirit animal guide. Look to an animal that you have always felt an affinity with. Notice the representation of animals, including mythical and mystical, that you may have within your home, through books, paintings, figurines, or prints, for they will reveal to you the familiar who has accompanied you through the mists of time and will never leave your side, not even for a moment. So call on your familiar, whether in this life or in other ones, or just in a spirit guide. Maybe there's an owl. Maybe you're just really drawn to owls, or, you know, there's like one in particular. So it's saying, don't be afraid to ask for assistance. You have a strong bond with a trusted animal. Call upon your familiar. Look for signs in the animals that come in contact with you. Study the meanings of different animal medicine energy. Help is at hand. The folklore reveals that supernatural beings called familiars helped and supported witches in their day-to-day lives. Known as animal guides or spirit helpers, they protect and guard their human companions through thick and thin. These spirit guardians can come in many different forms, from four-legged winged ones to mythical and magical beings. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, oh my gosh, this looks like my dear sister witch friend Robin. This looks like one of her cats. Okay, so we've been having culmination cards, so let's see what your culmination card is. Making Magic, from the Making Magic deck. From the Priestess Moon. I love their cards. Oh, I love all of her cards. I love all of her. I have 3 of her decks. I don't know how many she has, but I have 3. I think she only has 3, but I have 3. Okay. The Tree of Life. True wisdom and making good choices in life. Yes, I feel like this is a perfect culmination card for you guys. That's what we talked about at the beginning. Right? Making good choices now with your partners in all aspects. And with your people, and with your and also with your spirit guides, right? Your spirit animal guides don't have to be in form, like they said, it can be in just in spirit form. Is there any more? Is there any more? Is that it? Is that it? Nope, that's it. All right, you guys, thank you so much for stopping by. Oh wait, oh my gosh, this one, Mystic Star, harmony in the home and great friendships. Yay! Yes, bring more harmony to your life. You get to decide who's in it. Just remember that. I love you guys. If you'd like to book a reading with me, or if you'd like to donate to this channel, the information is below. Otherwise, it really is just by grace. So send me goodwill, light me a candle, and please send a deep, deep prayer that our home comes soon, because we have to move in 6 days and we still haven't found a place yet. But I know we will. I know we will. All right, you guys, have a blessed day, and we'll see you next time. Blessed be Aho. Bye.